are perfectly eligible for bailouts. Therefore, I would be interested to know why the Blue Party is willing to provide bailouts for businesses that actually had operational insufficiencies, as opposed to perfectly efficient businesses that are only suffering because of uncontrollable circumstances.
Hear, hear. Hear, hear.
The member from Halifax Atlantic.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to just go back a while. It was before the break, but our honourable member from Kings North said that bankrupting was a natural thing and that it would lead to restructuring. And I agree. In normal circumstances, it can be a good thing. It can allow them to restructure and allow them to become viable again. But this is not normal. These companies are viable under normal circumstances. And if we lose these viable ones, which are under normal circumstances can survive, well, who's going to take over the areas that these companies leave, these small businesses leave? We're going to have big business come back and pick up the slack. And we want more money leaving the province, if we invested in these normally viable companies, they would keep the money here and distribute it again among the people. I also heard something extremely disturbing from the Justice Minister. She said that, well, these jobs, they're being created, higher paying jobs, jobs that you do need an education for. Well, we're cutting low income jobs, jobs that you don't need the same type of education for. It almost sounds elitist. It almost sounds like you're taking jobs from the lower class. And I wouldn't like to think that our government is somehow high and mighty above these people. I don't think anyone would, but it does seem that that's what she said. Also, the honourable member from Antigonish was talking about the nitty-gritty and the money was coming from the budget. The budget is not a money tree. Money doesn't grow on trees. The money isn't coming from any magical place. By getting rid of these small businesses, we're cutting our tax base. The taxes will not flow if we don't have people who can pay the taxes. The budget only exists as long as the people who pay the tax exist. Thank you very much.
Hear, hear.
Thank you. The honourable member from Cape Breton North.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to ignore that comment. I'm just going to start off by saying I am extremely glad that the opposition is not in our position, because if what I'm hearing is correct, they feel that our healthcare system is not important. Our education system is not important. Is that what you're planning on doing with our children? You're not planning on educating our children because... Excuse me? It was implied.
Order, please. The member from Cape Breton North will continue with her remarks.
Thank you. Back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. I just think that if you guys are sitting here telling me that we should be giving money to small businesses rather than furthering the education of our children, then I'm really glad you're not in my position where you're going to be saying what the future is of our kids, because they're not going to be able to go to university, because you're not going to give them loans because, well, I guess no, that has to do with the bank, but you're not going to give them the teachers that they need because you feel the need to give the money to small businesses who really aren't going to make that much of a difference in the future. Please. I'd also like to say, make reference to a comment made earlier about the government not taking care of their citizens. Last I checked, healthcare does take care of our citizens. It takes care of their health care. So if we start giving money to small businesses, then we're going to have to take money out of the budget for health care. Eventually what's going to happen is we're going to have to start paying for our health care. We're going to have to start paying when we need to go to the emergency room because we broke our wrist. Is that what you want? I'd appreciate it if the opposition would stop interrupting me.
I would remind all members of the House to please keep comments current to the debate at hand, that being Bill number 354. Does the member from Cape Breton North wish to continue?
Thank you. So anyway, like I was saying, do you want to pay for your health care? Is that what you want? Do you know? You're talking about, okay, if I don't have the money to get to the hospital. Yeah, you don't have the money to get to the hospital, nor do you have the money to pay for it when you get there. Is that what you want? And I'd also like to make reference to the comment made earlier about the lobster, thing. I'd just like to say that we're in a global economic downturn, not just an economic downturn in Nova Scotia. Point proven, I think.
Thank you. The member from Cape Breton Centre.
In reply to that last comment, yes, we are in a global recession. It's not just in Nova Scotia. But I know that personally in my constituency, lobster catches are down and quotas are therefore having to go down because it's impossible to catch the same amounts. Healthcare, we are not trying to say that we should take money away from healthcare. You can't take money away from healthcare because I haven't said it. We have not said that.
So where do you propose money come from?
We didn't even say we failed anyone else.
From your back.
Order, please. The member from Cape Breton Centre will continue with her remarks.
We are saying that if you don't provide bailouts to these small companies, how are we going to get taxpayers to pay the taxes which fund healthcare? How are we going to do that? Nobody is going to have the money to pay it. Everyone is going to be on welfare. There is no way to get this 46%, which does not provide enough healthcare as it is, because our healthcare system is not perfect right now, but that is not the issue at hand. The lobsters, they support whole communities. It's an 8-week industry, and it supports a whole community, a whole constituency, more than them, more than one, several. So if you don't help these lobster fishermen out, where are they going to get money? They have to take it from the government either way. So why not help them out? Why not help their neighbors out? And why not help everyone else out? And with regard to the member from Guysborough Sheet Harbour, as it is, people do buy lobsters straight from the fishermen. In fact, in my community personally, most people buy them straight from the fishermen because there's no market for them in a store. Thank you.
Thank you. The honourable member from Argyle.
Here is a hypothetical point I would like to make. If we give $1 million in bailout, and $1 million, let's face it, is not a lot when we're talking corporations. $1 million would mean approximately 15 teachers' salaries, which school board would like to give up 15 teachers? That's the equivalent of an entire school. Do you want your kids to go without education? And that's just if it came from the education sector. If it came from healthcare, then you're giving up doctors. The money has to come from somewhere. I'm saying if we put any money to the bailout, it is coming from some other source. Also, we're not saying that we cannot help anyone. We are saying we're not giving bailouts. Yes, we can help the lobster. We're just not going to give them straight out money. Thank you.
Thank you. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
I just have a question regarding the lobster comment. I just don't understand, would you go to the community and tell them themselves that their way for resources financially is not important enough to lend them some money? In regards to healthcare, that our healthcare system, is it really that bad? Because I would just like the other team, the other blue party, to give us some numbers as to why why we don't have this money. Why don't we have in our budget amount to pay teachers and to pay doctors? You're saying 15 teachers are going to be let out of work. Do we not have the money to pay these people? I don't understand where this budget is coming from. It's just a question, if you can inform me.
The Honourable Premier. That's the Honorable Premier.
I would just like to say that I'm absolutely tired of hearing the opposition criticize every single thing that we throw their way. If you want us to change our opinion, please offer us